Something's happening. The economy's shifting, and Trump's boldest bets are now colliding with political reality. The tariffs, yeah, they were aggressive. The reshoring push, it was long overdue. But here's the catch. Voters don't wait for 5-year plans. They vote every 2. And if Trump doesn't deliver a clear win before the 2026 midterms, this whole plan might fall apart before it even has a chance to work. So the question is, can Trump actually turn it around before the midterms? If you're done with globalist nonsense and ready for straight talk, subscribe to America's Geopolitics. Now let's break it down. Trump came out swinging in his second term. 145% tariff on Chinese EVs, a 25% tariff on all imported cars and auto parts, Big Pharma targeted, Harvard on notice, NATO, pay your fair share or else. The idea? Tear down the old system, end America's dependence on China, force manufacturing back home, and finally make the global economy answer to America's interests, not the other way around. That's the strategy, but here's the reality. It takes time to rebuild an industrial base. It takes time to rewire global supply chains. And in the meantime, oil prices are down, but gas at the pump, it's still sky high. Imports are slowing, shelves are thinning, and voters, they're feeling the squeeze. Food inflation, it hasn't gone away. Construction materials are harder to source. Small businesses are eating costs just to survive. So again, I'll ask, can Trump survive the midterms if the pain keeps coming before the payoff? Remember, the strategy might work on paper, but politics runs on perception. Here's why this matters more than ever. If Trump loses the House or Senate in 2026, it's over. The trade agenda, it'll be dead. The reshoring push, stuck in gridlock. The tariffs, they'll be challenged, picked apart, reversed. He doesn't have 4 years. He has 18 months at best to prove this works. And right now, the headlines aren't helping him. Tariffs drive up consumer prices. Trump faces pushback from Congress, industry, and voters. So I'll ask again, can he turn it around? And if so, how? Because here's the truth. Most voters aren't watching interest rate trends or steel output figures. They're watching their grocery receipts. They're asking, why is gas still high if oil is dropping? Why are my groceries 20% higher than they were last year? Where are the jobs you promised? And in battleground states, those pocketbook questions, they decide everything. If Trump doesn't change the perception soon, even voters who like the policy, they might walk away. Because in their eyes, a strategy that hurts now and pays off someday, well, that's just a gamble. And let me ask this, what does a win even look like? And how soon does he need to land it? Because if something doesn't break soon, the backlash could get louder than the plan. So what would count as a win? A new energy deal that drops gas prices and strengthens American output? A bilateral trade pact with India or Mexico that locks out China but lowers consumer cost? A pharmaceutical reshoring move, cutting our dependence on overseas drug makers? A visible manufacturing boom in swing states like Ohio, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania? Even one of those with the right messaging could reset the narrative. But it can't just be wonky policy. It has to be real, visible, and pretty damn quick. Because politics isn't just about results, it's about timing. And here's what nobody's talking about. What if he tries too much, too fast? What if he pushes too hard on tariffs and allies get alienated? What if he goes too deep on regulation and business confidence sinks? And in this way, you're handing your critics ammunition on a silver platter. There's a razor-thin line between momentum and meltdown. That's why Trump has to choose his wins very carefully. Because the wrong move could backfire hard right before the midterms. And if he doesn't land a win, here's what happens. Confidence collapses, his own coalition fractures, and worst of all, the American people go back to the old system. They hand power right back to the same people who offshored their jobs, wrecked the supply chains, and told us globalization was the future. That's not just a policy failure, that's a strategic surrender. Everything he's been building could be dismantled in a single election cycle. So can Trump turn it around before the midterms? He's got a vision, he's got some leverage, but now he needs a win. He needs it pretty damn bad. Otherwise, the story isn't Trump reshapes the global economy. It's Trump tried, failed, and the world snapped back. Let me know what you think and what kind of win would flip the narrative. Drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe to America's Geopolitics. This is Frank, see you next time.